Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Hangout presented by Paige, Trevor, Leah, and Sarah. Today we will be talking about Newzilla, Padlet, Clinkers, Apollo by Atlas, and Vizia. I'll be starting this off by talking about Newzilla. Let me just pull it up. All right. So Newzilla is pretty much a website that makes reading the news easy for students so that they can be kept up to date with everything that's going on, but have easy articles to read. So basically, you make an account. This is a teacher account. And there's a library, so there's different subjects that you can choose from relating to different articles that go with those subjects. So if we click on, say, U.S. history, we get all these articles, and you can choose the grade level that you want for each article, and the reading standard, language, everything. So I think I'm going to choose 3rd grade. And let's just go with the Frederick Douglass speech. So basically, the article shows up and it tells you the grade level, the word count, and it's pretty much, the article is set up in a way that it's easy for students of that age group to read. And then if the students are logged in on their student account, you can give them a quiz based on what they read in the article. So obviously the teachers get the answers, but the students won't get the answers when they sign into their account. And this is a good way to tell whether they're understanding the material in the article. And there's also news, so current news and articles that might be interesting to kids. So if we click on the kids portion of the news, get a lot of different articles relating to kids of that age. So let's just choose teen runner with disability races to the finish line. So they can learn about things that are actually going on in the world with kids that are their age. So this is a 6th grade level article, and you can do a quiz on this one too. And that's pretty much what the whole website is. And you can make a binder full of articles for your class and just select whichever one you want for whatever lesson that you're doing. And that's pretty much what Newzilla is. I'm going to get backing out. All right.
I like that.
Yeah,
it seems like really easy to use.
It's a good way to keep kids like updated on current events, because I know like I didn't always know what was going on.
Yeah,
Sure.
I never like read newspapers or like articles really when I was younger. So I think this is a pretty good website to use in class.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Sarah, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about 2 things today. Let me pull the first one up. So the first one is Vizia. Can you guys see it?
No, I'm seeing me.
Yeah, I can only see Paige.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, now me.
What about now?
No.
Okay, hold on one second. Did you click on my box?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay, now can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there you go. So this is Vizia, and it's just an interactive videos. So you can upload a video from YouTube. You can choose one that's already on there, or if you make one and upload it, and then you just add questions, and you can add multiple choice questions, short answers, or polls. And what happens is as you're watching the video, they come up. So each one of these little marks is a question, and it pops up while they're watching the video. And it's just a way to keep the kids engaged in the video, and you can check to make sure they're actually watching it and they're paying attention to it, active in their learning. So I think it's really cool just because technology is becoming such a big part in the classroom, and one of my concerns is always, are the kids really listening to this video? Are they paying attention? So this is just a way to check that, and the teachers can receive the answer, so you can see like if your students were understanding it or not. And that's pretty much it for it. That here's where you add them, and it's free, which I think is great. Just another free resource for the classroom. And something I thought this would be really good for would be individual lessons, like the last two that we've worked on in class with the math and the read aloud, because you could you could upload your video to this and then add questions to be sure the students are engaged with the video. Because I know as I was making my math video, I was concerned if students were watching it, they would be bored or they wouldn't really be getting the information. So this would just be a great way to check what they're learning. And it's just another way to reach all students, because you could do this for different videos on different interests or different levels, and you could have different types of questions for each student, just to make sure you're checking each student on their level and helping them to improve. And that's pretty much it for this. It's a really great resource. And then my second resource is Apollo by Atlas. And this is an app that you can download on iPads, and it's so that the student has whatever you're teaching right in front of them on their iPad. So you're broadcasting to all the devices in the room. It's really good for schools that have a 1-to-1 ratio, so when every student has the iPad, but it can be used if not every student has it also, it could be used to help reach students who have disabilities or just need a little extra help and support. So it's really nice. You can, like it says here, you can build a lesson really quickly, and you can use a PDF, a PowerPoint, a document, whatever you want. You just upload it into Apollo. And then you have students join your classroom, so you can choose which ones are joining. So you could do this with your whole class, or if you're doing it with a small group, whatever you need to do, whatever works best. And you can see by these dots if they're online, offline, and during your lesson you can also check to see that they're engaged, to make sure that they have this open, they're not playing a game, they're not off task, which I think is really great, because that's always a concern when you're using technology, if the children are actually doing what they're supposed to, not playing games or on websites that they're not supposed to be on. So I think that's really cool. And then you can add to your lesson while you're doing it. So if you decide, oh, we need to practice this skill some more, you can add a question right then, and it uploads instantly to yours and to theirs. So you're really working together, and you can adjust your lesson as you go, which is really good, because there's always unexpected things, and you never know where students will get confused. So it's really great that you can adjust on the spot. And then you can also quiz them in real time. So you can do any of these questions, and right there in your lesson you can say, okay, I need you to answer this, and you'll get all of their answers. So again, while you're teaching, you can see if they're really understanding it, or if you need to maybe add another question or go back and talk about something, which that's really important. And it's really nice that it's while you're teaching, because you can go ahead and address it right then, right away, instead of maybe a day later or doing another lesson with it. You can just go right into it. And then there's also, students can take notes, which is good. Like they can take the notes right there on the content, which I think is really helpful. They're not like copying. If like you have a PowerPoint, they're not rushing to copy everything down. They can just, they have it right there in front of them and they can follow along, and they can also add their own notes right there. And then they can also replay lessons, which I think is really good, because I know I was always rushing to write things and I would miss things. And sometimes I wished I could just like hear a lesson again, just hear what the teacher was saying, make sure I really understood it. So I think that's really cool. And that could also be helpful for parents, because I know sometimes with math homework, the parents don't know how the children were taught to do it. So if the parents could go and watch the same lesson that their student watched, then they'd really be able to help them and work with them. So I think that's a cool way to help with homework and really make sure that the students are understanding, and also keeping parents involved and getting parents included in the classroom, and then better equipping them so that they can help their students. And then also students can ask questions through a back channel, so they can ask the teacher a question without everyone knowing, because that's a big deal for students, especially like in middle school. They don't like to ask questions because they think they'll get made fun of, or the other students will think, oh, well, they're dumb because they're asking that. So they are always able to ask a question, and they don't have to worry about what other people think or anything like that. So I think that's really cool too. And that's everything. The only downfall for this is that you have to pay for it, which the school district might pay for it, but sometimes it's hard to, you can't always afford to pay for all of the different things for the classroom, but I think it would definitely be worth it. And that's everything. Let me go back into the Hangout.
I really liked both of those a lot, especially with the replaying of the lessons. I really liked them when I was going to school.
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a good
Yeah.
way, like you said, to get the parents involved too, because that can be such a struggle for a lot of teachers to just get the parents to help the kids.
Yeah.
So.
And it
Definitely.
records, like, you can set it to just look at the PowerPoint or to record your voice too. So I think it's just so helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Definitely. Okay, Trevor, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you click on me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did you click on me?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Sorry. So I'm gonna talk about plickers now, and basically what that is just another way to assess your students in the classroom. There's really a couple different things that you can do, but the main thing is creating quizzes or any other kind of form of assessment and cards that they give you. So I'm going to show you first the quizzes, because as you get a couple different sets of cards, there's a wide variety. So when you first click onto your library, you'll see right here, there's the new question button. A sample question, but I'll just create another one real quick. So after you hit the new question button, we'll see. And then you just type the question and type some answers, like it would be multiple choice. You can also change it to true, false. And then if you want the answer to be indicated as correct, you just click it off. And you can also add images, which helps create more of a visual effect. And then when you're finished, you just hit save. and it gets saved to your library. And another thing that you can do is create folders so that you can organize your questions. So if you're teaching elementary school and you teach pretty much every subject to the kids, you don't want to have to go into your library and find questions that are mixed in with like math and English and social studies or anything else. So it's a great way to organize your questions and your assessments. And even if you want to go further and break it down to like individual assessments, so you're talking about this exact subject in math that day, you can create a folder that talks about multiplication tables or something like that. So it's a great way to assess the students and see what they know, and you can really organize it. And another really cool aspect of it is the live view. So after you create, the students will get their iPhones or iPads or any kind of digital device out. And if they download the Plickers app, which I did, so I'll pull it up on my phone, what you can see is whoever has the device can pull up a question. So I will pull up a question real quick. And then when I pull it up on my phone, it comes up on the computer. So really only one device is needed, and it can project the question for the entire class or any other way you want to use it in the classroom. And then you can look at reports. And I don't have any reports, but basically what this does is when the students in your classroom do these assessments, what they'll do is have like a score sheet and reports on how everybody performs, so the teacher can keep track of that sort of information. And it's great data to look at when you're assessing your classroom and seeing who's doing well in what area and where the whole class may need work, for example, in like what kind of an area. And let's go to the classes. So you can create any class. So again, you can even base it on your subject matter, or you can base it on if you're teaching like a morning class, an afternoon class, you can have different classes in your Plickers account. So what you do is when you click onto your class, it has a bunch of different available cards that it gives you. And what you can do is turn them over for like studying examples or any other kind of a thing. And you can add your roster so that everybody in your class is on there. And you can just do these cards for studying or assessments or any other kind of thing. So the classes and the cards are a huge part of it to assess your students. And as I'll show you with the cards does, and this probably is the only downside to it, is that you get a card set, which is just like the standard 40 cards, and there's 2 cards per sheet. But if you want to get any larger, they charge you for it. But the cards, like I said, they're a great way to study or even assess your classroom, or even incorporate it in a game setting like playing Jeopardy or anything like that. So that's for the tool. Let me come back to the Hangout.
Yeah, I really like that one too. It seems like it's kind of like Kahoot in a way, because you can use your phones and stuff like that.
It's another way to get the kids excited about using like a digital device while still assessing them.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
Okay, so last tool we're going to talk about today is Padlet. And Padlet is, do you guys see it or no? I don't think you do.
We see you right now.
Okay.
We see it.
You see it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so to log in, first log in with Padlet, you can, create a new username and password, or you can log in with Google or Facebook, which is really easy. So I usually just log in with Google. just to make things simpler. And so when you get here, you'll have your home page, which is great. So essentially, Padlet is just like a giant online virtual corkboard, or like a sheet of paper, essentially, like a poster board or anything that you can think of. So it's really cool because you can make a blank Padlet and share the URL with your students, and they can go on there and they can add like literally anything to this Padlet, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So you can go down here, these are where your Padlets will be stored after you make them, and if you want to make a new one, you just hit make a Padlet. So we go on here, and it will give you a background like provided to you, but you can change that right away, of course. So you can title your Padlet and make a description. Let's say you wanted the kids to learn about gravity. So you could type in gravity, and then you could type in like your name and like your class and maybe the grade level. And then you can go down here and you can choose how you would like your Padlet set up. So freeform, I think when I was playing with it, I think it's the easiest, just because you can put your ads basically anywhere. But you can also do grid or stream if you want it more like blocky and organized looking. It really just depends on what you're going for. So like I said, down here you can choose a different wallpaper. There's many to choose from, which is pretty cool. So like if you have a different theme or whatever you're talking about to get the kids interested, like it's vibrant, it's cool. Then you can go back. Unfortunately, the themes are not free, so I'm not really sure what they look like, but if you are able to get a premium plan with your school, like if they pay for it, I would say go for it. Down here, you can change the icons. So up here, as you can see, it changed the icon next to it. And then you can show the author's name and post. You can also write tags, so science or gravity. Like if you want to make this Padlet public, other people can see it no matter what. And right down here where it says Padlet.com, it has your username after the backslash, and then right here is something that they gave you if you just want to copy and paste that into your URL, or you can just delete this and like type whatever you want, and then that's what will pop up for your kids. So it's really nice. You don't have to give your kids like some random long complicated URL. You can just make it something really simple like this. So basically, you click on here, you can next out of this, I guess, and you can make your private, password protected, secret, or public. So it really just depends on what you're doing. If you are setting something up for the class and don't want them to see it yet, you can make it secret or private so far. You can also add people to come in here by username or email to quickly find it also. And you click this yellow or this pink plus button down here. What will pop up is a box that you can add anything to the Padlet. You can add audio, video, a song, a picture, a Word document. So you can do a link from the web also. You can upload anything from your computer, like any of these pictures. So that's pretty cool. And you can also take a photo right now. So I think the main purpose for this would be, group projects. If you want your kids to find out information about whatever subject you're working on or whatever subject you assign them, they can easily come on here and kind of make this giant virtual poster. So they can do this from home. They don't have to worry about getting together if they can't get together or whatever. Or also, if you are planning on teaching about a certain subject and you want the kids to go home and do some like preliminary research and background information, you can give them this URL for your Padlet and say, I want you to add a picture, or I want you to add a website or anything like that. And they're able to go on here and add anything, and then you can pull it up in class and you guys can all explore together, or they can explore at home, however you'd like. So it's really easy to use, and like you can be creative with it too, which is what I really like. And it's just like the kids are able to just come together and like make a collaboration, and it's much easier than like old school ways of doing it. So I really like it a lot. And that's pretty much it. Then, like I said, this is your homepage, so this is where all your Padlets will be, which is easy to find. And as I said, you can share it easily with just about anyone. So yeah.
I think that's really cool. I like the idea of a new and interactive way of doing group projects with your students.
Definitely. I liked it a lot too.
So that's it for our Hangout. Thank you for watching.